Hello and welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. It is finally the weekend. I am super excited. I don't know about you guys. Hopefully you're having a great weekend so far. Let's hop into our email and see what we have for today. It looks like we've only got 3 left. Oh goodness. Hopefully we'll get some more in when we end our day here soon. The first email, however, says, "Hello. I'm looking to pay for a new PC. Got to hit 10,664 in benchmarks. The CPU can definitely hit 5100 megahertz. Can you overclock it for me? I want my GPU to run at 2059 megahertz. Can you make this your number one priority, please? Don't try and pass off any used parts. I want all new stuff." So, for a budget of 3250, wants to get a 3D Mark score of 10664. We can probably make that happen. So let's go ahead and accept that one. Next one here says, "Hey, if I don't get a new computer soon, I'm going to scream. Do you think you can get the CPU to 3600 megahertz for me? I always overclock my GPU. Can you get 1480 megahertz for me? ASAP, please. It's urgent. I like nice and shiny new components." So for 2250 to get a CPU that can clock up to 3600 megahertz and a GPU to 1480, I don't think that's too far out of the ballpark, so let's go ahead and accept that one. And finally, oh my, we've got a long one here. Says, "Captain's log, stardate 1701.68 and a half. We're doing all we can to protect the Palestinians from the supernova, but the stress of the situation is almost unbearable. The crew is tense and the cracks are beginning to show. Just moments ago, security had to break up a brawl in engineering. No serious injuries, but there was severe damage to a computer vital to the force field construction effort. I've sent the damaged computer for repair and doubled the security detail in engineering. We can't afford any more setbacks. Dr. McKelly has been caring for the crew members involved, but he's baffled. It seems the part of their brains that controls emotion, anger, frustration, fury is in overdrive. The Palestinians may know more about what's happening here. I must invite them on board and try to get to the bottom of this. Captain J. Dirk." So J. Dirk needs us to diagnose and fix his computer. Let's go ahead and accept that one. So, as usual, I'm going to step away, get a build put together for this first email here, and as soon as I have something, I will be right back. Alright, so for the first build, we're going to go with the Asus ROG Maximus 10 Formula motherboard, an i7-8700K, a Kraken X72, 2 sticks of G-Skill Trident Z RGB 8GB 4000 MHz, 2 MSI GTX 1070s, a ADATA, I think it's 960 gig M.2 drive, an 850 watt Supernova, and we're going to put it in an NZXT H440 in black and red. Okay, so for this next build, I'm going to step away, get a build put together for that one, and be right back. Alright, so for our next build here, we're going to go with the Asus ROG Strix X470i gaming motherboard, an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X, a Kraken X52, 2 sticks of HyperX, a Predator DDR4 8GB, I think it was 3600 MHz, a RTX 2060, so this will be the first time we're building with a 20 series card, so I think I just unlocked it recently. We're also going to have another one of these ADATA M.2 drives that's 960 gigs. We're going to go with a gigabyte 750 watt power supply, and we're going to put it in this NZXT H210i case. I haven't built in this case yet, so hopefully all this stuff will fit in there. Let's go ahead and order this for next day delivery. We can go end our day, and we can get in our parts for our builds as well as the repair that we have coming in from Captain Dirk, or whatever his name was. Alright, so there's all our stuff. Let's get our fix up here. Man, that's one of those big old EVGA cases. Let's get the rest of these onto a workbench. Whoops. And let's get names to the right people here. I think this one goes with this little case. And this one goes with this case. Alright, so let's take a look at this guy first. Let's see if it powers on. Nothing. Alright. Let's get some panels off here. I think this is a computer we've worked on before when he wanted 8 terabytes of storage space. Let's just take all the wires, disconnect everything, and check the power supply first and see if that's what it happens to be. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Take out these useless screws. All right. So it is not the power supply. So let's just pop that back in. Let's get this beauty panel out of our way. And start disconnecting things from the motherboard. We will see if it happens to be the motherboard itself. Get everything off of here. Whoops. I don't know what I just disconnected from the back. I have no idea. Oh, let's get the RAM. Maybe. There we go. Let's get all the RAM out. No. I want to pull the whole motherboard. There we go. Get the whole thing out of here. Let's see if it's the motherboard. Yep, broken. So let's go order another X399 Aorus Gaming 7 motherboard. Oh, there it is right there. Let's do same day delivery. And we will get this installed. Hopefully there's not other broken parts. Probably should have checked the CPU. Let's take a look now. Okay, so the CPU is not broken, so that's a plus. Let's get that installed. Let's get it ready for RAM. Get all of their RAM installed. And the last stick here. Okay. Graphics cards. Both of those look not broken. We'll get that installed. Get some thermal paste on that huge Threadripper processor. What am I looking for? CPU cooling. Ah, the Arctic freezer is broken. I don't happen to have another one. So let's order one of those. Should have checked. And we'll do same day delivery. And we can get that installed. Get rid of that broken one. Okay. Did he have an SSD? Maybe that's what I uninstalled from the back. There we go. Okay, let's cable this up. All these hard drives. The SSD. Okay. Let's see if it boots. No OS. Let's power cycle this and hop into the BIOS, because it should have an OS on that SSD. Oh my. All right. So I think we are good to get this case put back together. Get that side panel on. Let's power this down. We can get the PSU mount on. This case has so many parts. Oh, unplug, please. And the plastic part. And then we've got this beauty panel. And then finally the side panel. Okay. Let's get it out in the hallway. And we can move on to this build where we need to get a score of 10,664 in 3D Mark. Let's get everything off of here. I think all of these are going to have to come out, as well as these fans. Okay. Let's get our motherboard, which is the Asus Republic of Gamers Maximus 10. Get that installed. And we'll get this ready for the RAM and the CPU. Get our 8700K in there. As well as... what RAM did we get for this? I think the G-Skill. Oops. Alright. Get some thermal paste. And we'll get our cooler installed, which is the X72. Big old beast of a water cooler. We can get our ADATA M.2 drive in here. And let's get this ready for dual graphics cards. Let's see what we got here. We had the MSI GTX 1070s. We'll need to get this out of our way so we can install our power supply, which was the EVGA Supernova. And let's go ahead and get this PSU mount back on. There we go. Okay. I think we just need to wire it up here. Let's use some red cables. Let's see. Braided. Plastic. Maybe we'll go with plastic. Get everything cabled up. Okay. Go ahead and install our USB drive. Power it on, and we're going to hop into the BIOS here. Let's go ahead and overclock our CPU. Excuse me. We're going to 51 megahertz. So we'll go ahead and we're going to make sure it boots with those settings. Let's get some software installed on here. We need 3D Mark. We need GPU Tuner. Oh no, I don't think we need GPU Tuner, do we? But we do need OCCT. We might need GPU Tuner if we don't hit the 3D Mark score. So I guess it's best to have it on there than to not have it on there. So let's run OCCT real quick. Make sure that our CPU is stable at 5.1 gigahertz. Hopefully we don't get any kind of blue screen issues. Hitting 98. Haven't even hit 99C yet, so that's not too bad. Well, that seems like a pass to me. Okay. So, let's go ahead and run 3D Mark, see what we get, and if we don't get enough, then we'll have to hop in and adjust possibly the GPUs. But as soon as I get something, or if I hit a blue screen or whatever, I will come right back. Okay, so I canceled the test because I just realized that we do need to run GPU Tuner. And what was it we needed? We need 2059. Let's crank these on up. 2059, we'll go ahead and apply that. Now we'll get this running. And again, if it blue screens or if it makes it all the way to a score, either way, I will come right back. So we're pulling a really low score in Time Spy, and it's the CPU score that's really low here. I'm wondering if we are overloading our power supply. Let's see, because this thing is pulling 430, 450, 470, 80, 500 watts. So we maxed out at 555. And I think I only put an 850 watt power supply in here. So I'm wondering, between that pulling 500 watts, that's only leaving about 555 watts. So that's leaving like 300 watts for dual graphics cards. So maybe we should throw a 1000 watt power supply in here real quick and just see if that fixes our score. So let's shut this down real fast. Let's get this out of our way here. And let's disconnect everything. I've got a used one in my inventory, 1050 watt. So I figured we'll just try that, see if that happens to fix it. If it does, then we can just swap it out for a new one. Let's cable this up real quick. Surprised it wasn't just shutting off. Okay. So let's get our core clocks back to 2059. We'll apply that. Let's run 3D Mark. And as soon as I have a score, or again, if it blue screens, I will come right back. Alright, so we are still getting a super low CPU score, even though during the test running, it's not 3.69 frames per second when it's running the CPU test. So I've tried some things while I was not recording and can't seem to get this to work. I can get it to work in another, like a different build, but with the same parts. So that doesn't really make sense. But I'm running out of time for recording today, so this one might have to wait, or probably will have to wait until the next episode for me to get this figured out, because I'd like to get this build done today. So let's get started on this. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to revisit that other build in the next episode. But let's get the motherboard put in this case. And we can get this one ready for CPU and RAM. This one is getting a Ryzen 2700X. Oops. And let's get the RAM installed in there as well, which is the HyperX Predator. 8 gig, 3600 megahertz. Let's get those out of our way. See, I think the M.2, does it go on the back of this one? Here it goes. Some of these little motherboards, you gotta figure out where the M.2 drive goes. Sometimes they're on the back, sometimes they're on the front. Okay, let's get some thermal paste on there, and we can go ahead and get our CPU cooler installed, which is this Kraken X52. Whoops. And we will go ahead and get our graphics card in, which is the RTX 2060. So this is the first time we're building with a 20 series card. Let's get our power supply in, which is this Gigabyte 750 watt. Okay. Looking pretty good here. Let's get this cabled up. What am I looking for? What color do I want to do? Let's see. Kind of got a white and black build. Let's maybe do some white. Not gray. Let's do these loose cables. Get everything cabled up here. Let's go ahead and get this bay cover put back on. And the dust filter. And the front panel. So I think we're done with all of that. We can go ahead and get a USB drive installed. And we'll see if it powers on. We can hop into the BIOS here. I'm going to go ahead and turn XMP on. And we can let the OS get installed. Let's go ahead and put our lighting software on here, because this one's already hit the overclocks that were needed. All of this stuff was overclocked much higher. Not sure we can change that G-force. We may have to do some green lighting or something to make everything match, but let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I don't think... Let's see if we can make all of this match. What was it? 3... Let's try that. That looks like mostly a match. Let's put the side panel on. It usually darkens it down some. That looks much better. Get the back panel put on here. Or the other side panel, not the back. Take a look at it. I think that looks pretty nice. Close that out. So this is ready to go. Let's get this put out in the hall. We can collect these two. That one over there I'm going to mess around with. I've got a little more time and see if I can't figure out why the CPU is posting so low when in other builds it does just fine. So let's go ahead and collect this one. And let's collect this one. Unlock some new parts. Got some new deals and some new emails, which we will get to in the next episode, along with fixing this one build that we have to finish up here. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys in the next episode.